Well, this wasn't the way we need to start December off, especially with the way we've been doing the past couple years. Last week losing to the Giants, and this week losing to the Chargers. We looked at the schedule before the year started, knowing Dallas' struggles in December. And then, when you looked at the schedule, looking at that's probably the hardest last 5 games of the year you could ever have. Um, that's not an excuse. Because if you want to make the playoffs and do something in the playoffs, you've got to beat teams that will be there. Giants are a playoff caliber team. We'll see if they'll make it. It's going to be a race to the finish between the three of us, Dallas, New York, and Philly. San Diego is a playoff team. Then next week you got New Orleans, who's the best team in the NFC right now. Then you got Washington, who not really a good team this year, not a good record, but they always play Dallas close. And then you've got a showdown game against Philly, which may be for all in the NFC East or just be a playoff spot. Today was, these last 2 games have really been about missed opportunities. Um, just, and I've always said, that's the NFL. You can look at almost every game and say if we did this one thing, we would have won that game. But you got to give credit to San Diego. I mean, Philip Rivers with all his antics, whatever, guy's a great quarterback, top 4 or 5 quarterback in the league. Him and Vincent Jackson and Floyd were killing us. I mean, they were converting 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13s. I don't know how many passes he had over 35 yards a day. It was killing us. I thought the defense played as well as they could. LT, he's not the same as he used to be, but he was still getting enough yards to beat us. Um, you know, that first half was weird. It was real quick. Our first drive, we get a field goal. They get a touchdown after converting a long 3rd down on their first series, and then we have a bad series. They get a field goal, and then we run it down their throats. We throw one pass is incomplete. We run it down their throats with Felix Jones and Marion Barber. Then we get to the 4-yard line and can't punch it in 4 times. Now you could say, hey, we should have kicked a field goal, and look, the difference was 3 points. I don't fault the coaches there at all. If you've got Marion Barber in the backfield and you've got that big of an offensive line, I have no problem running it up the gut 4 times in a row. If you can't get it in, that's a player problem. That's a player problem. But the D stepped up, got a pick. Tinu stepped up, got a pick. And then we couldn't convert on a first down, and we kicked a field goal, and Falk missed again. I don't know what we need to do with Nick Folk because I have no faith in him kicking the football at all. I used to be one of his biggest fans because had so much faith that he would make a kick. Now, when it came down, if we were down by 3 at one point, I would almost assume just go for a touchdown because I didn't know if he was going to make anything. So missed opportunities there, but in the second half, I thought the defense really played well. First off, the first part of the half, and then offensively drove down the field 99 yards, capped off by a Tony Romo touchdown in the back of the end zone. I really thought that was. I really thought that would turn the tide and give Dallas a victory. But San Diego, a good team who's in those kind of situations week in and week out, wasn't. The offense didn't phase them at all. They went right down the field and scored. Part of that reason, though, I think, is Demarcus Ware's injury. I don't know what the extent is. That's huge. That's the best player on this team is Demarcus Ware. And you saw the difference in this defense when he was gone. We were stopped him. He got hurt. Then there's a penalty, but then big play down the field to convert 3rd down, and then the play for the touchdown. His presence was missed on that team, but injuries are part of this game. And no matter how big a player he is or how small he is, you got to step up as a team. Demarcus Ware didn't cover passes. Demarcus Ware rushes the passer and helps stop the run. He only stopped the run on one side of the ball, though. People have got to step up. Once again, Dallas, got a meaningless touchdown at the end. Had to kick an onside kick. It didn't matter if we got it or not. It's frustrating. It really is. I'm glad that it looks like the guys care. Looking on the sidelines, that it does matter to these. After the Philadelphia game, guys were joking around and stuff. It matters, but you got to play better. Just because you think you deserve it or because you want it real bad, doesn't mean you're going to get it. So Dallas, 8-5 now. Starting off December 0-2. Got the New Orleans Saints on Saturday in New Orleans. I've always said about the Saints, even when they were bad, Dallas couldn't beat them. Now they're best team in the league possibly. So Dallas has their hands full. But like I said, you want to be in the playoffs and do something about it. You got to beat teams that will be there. New Orleans will be there, and if you can't compete with them, you won't be compete with a Super Bowl for a Super Bowl anyways. And so, what's the point of being there? So, got a lot to show up. But Dallas, this is it's disappointing. It's getting pretty tough. So, still a Cowboys fan. Go Cowboys. Congrats, San Diego. They're going to give the Colts and whoever in the AFC a run for their money in the playoffs. Dallas, we got to work on getting there first.